And all you have to do, subhanAllah, is compare how we look at Islamic knowledge compared to, I don't know, medicine. And I often say, subhanAllah, if you have a problem, and you have a medical issue, and someone says, you know, there's this one doctor, go speak to him or whatever, and they'll tell you what to do, and you go to this doctor, and they say, yeah, and you ask them a question or whatever, and the doctor says, hey, listen, I need to perform surgery on you. And you're like, okay, cool, can you tell me like what your qualifications are? And he goes, yeah, you know, I read a couple books, I watched a couple tutorials on YouTube, right? I've been through them a few times, and like, you know, I've seen how surgery is done. And I've performed you know, I've done a few surgeries before, and I think I'm good to go. Would you be okay with that? This dude just like opening you up and, you know, just like checking out your organs and stuff or whatever? Of course not. We would never be okay with that. We'd like run out of that office, right? Or another common situation, subhanAllah, and this is very common amongst my culture, subhanAllah, Desis. If you ever been at a gathering where there's like a gathering of uncles, right? Or ammus for the Arabs. And sometimes, you know, the uncles are sitting there and, you know, they're just looking for things to talk about. And oftentimes it's politics and this and that, whatever, or community issues. And then eventually someone brings up an issue related to Islam. And now, subhanAllah, this is an Islamic issue. And these uncles, subhanAllah, and no offense to uncles, this happens in every generation, but it's just an example. You may have a doctor sitting there, you may have a lawyer, an architect, or businessman, and so on and so forth, but you don't have a scholar sitting there. You don't have someone who's qualified. And an Islamic issue comes up, right? And every single person has an opinion here. Every single person, right? On the other hand, someone brings up a medical issue, and even the doctor sitting there, since it's a Desi gathering, there's more than one doctor there, right? Even the doctor sitting there will be reluctant to give their opinion. Why? Because they just don't want that responsibility, right? They're like, if I give the wrong advice, you know, I don't know, maybe I might get sued or something, right? Like they just like, I don't want that responsibility. But when it comes to an Islamic issue, every person sitting there is like, hold on one second, I have a fatwa for you right here in my pocket, right? And a lot of times it's not even like something that they've researched or something that they've talked to someone about, whatever. It's like, oh, I heard, or I grew up hearing this. And subhanAllah, it is amazing how people speak about Islamic issues with such conviction, when even our scholars, subhanAllah, should be careful. Even the students of knowledge who are qualified in these matters, they should be careful when it comes to speaking about Islamic issues.